Hello, everyone. My name is John Dotson. Welcome again to the Gruber Wired Show. My co-host Mark Beach had to step out for a moment, taking care of some customer business. So he's going to be with us here briefly. Lots of good things going on. Business has been great. The weather outside's been great. We're hitting the 70s right now. Very comfortable, very nice. Things are going great. No complaints there. But yeah, things have really been kicking up, and we're seeing lots of new technology out there in the world today. And that's going to be kind of our topic and what we're going with. Going to be discussing all the latest tech that we're seeing in the headlines. And you've probably read about some of that and seen some of that as well. But before we get there, there's something really exciting going on. Our local ASU football team has made the national playoffs. So congratulations to them. And there's someone that we just want to talk about them a little bit today because there's been a little bit of negativity with them. So hey, you want to pull up that first chart that we had?
Yep.
Basically, what we're finding out is poor ASU is kind of one of those sleeper teams, throughout the year in the football program. And they're just kind of not getting the respect that they want.
Right, that one?
Yeah, that one right there. So you can kind of see here, Oregon Ducks. There's my Ducks, number one in the country right now, and we'll say they'll remain there, don't you think? Aaron, are you a college football guy?
I am, and you do realize you put the wrong.
Yeah,
that's why we're showing you today, because this came out, right? So we got, of course, Oregon, number one up there, the Ducks. Ohio State's right behind them there. When you get down to the bottom there, they put up the Arizona logo, not the ASU logo on their charts. I tell you, we just cannot seem to get that level of respect.
I mean, they're just used to U of A's success. So
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I mean, the other school in Tempe has just been so bad lately.
Lately? No, but you have to agree, though.
Watch yourself.
Yeah. But I think ASU has been on kind of the cuff of just kind of this year's sleeper team. Don't you agree?
No, they take steroids.
They take steroids.
Their steroids are going to wear out sooner or later.
Wow.
Well, yeah, right. So, who's your team?
U of A.
You are U of A, straight up?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Did
Where do
go
you
to
live
school
again?
there?
I live in Phoenix,
You
Arizona.
live in the Phoenix metro area.
What about you, Jesse? You follow college football?
I do not follow it currently, but I am an ASU alum. So
Are you really?
Fear the fork.
Okay, there you go. Well, we have another photo, number one there. This sums it up on how the country seems to feel about ASU. So if you want to pull that up, and once again, it just kind of really feels like, hey, we get no respect down here, right? Man,
and
I
that
miss
is a
this
typical
guy.
student at ASU.
That is an ASU
yeah.
student right there, yeah. Used to be. I remember ASU for a while was known as a party school, right? And they've really come around to changing that atmosphere and that tone of who they are. Right now, I mean, it's really kind of navigated from being that theme, ASU party school, to more of a business tech type school. Seeing a lot of tech things going on there, especially with the semiconductor plants that are taking place and building up around us. So...
True.
So, you're just kind of seeing a lot of that take place out there with ASU. But anyway, congratulations, ASU. We're going to have some fun with this. So I hope all of you who are watching college football really enjoy this season. And again, ASU, congratulations. We appreciate it. So let's get into some of this tech news that we're seeing out there today. I think it's kind of playing around. If you want to bring up the photo for number two. Especially back in Pennsylvania, you probably have seen this photo, right? It's in the national news. It's all over the place, but we're seeing a lot of drone activity. Have you guys kept up with much of this, Jesse?
I have not seen the drone stuff. What you were telling me before the show a little bit, but
yeah.
I have not. I know that the government weren't they saying something like those aren't ours, basically?
Yeah, they're saying, well, but what I've been reading and what I've been to understand. Yeah, welcome back, Mark.
He had a lot of questions.
Yeah, everything go well?
It was great.
Yeah.
He said it was solid.
Solid, huh? Nice. Very cool.
Yes.
Yeah, nice. Well, we just went over ASU and how that program has been.
You stole my thunder. Man,
you can
all the
add to it really
disrespect.
quick.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, it's. I thought you would cover your stuff first, but yeah, no ASU,
I'll pull it back
man.
up.
No respect.
Yeah, I know.
Cam Scattaboo, shut out of the Heisman. The wrong
There we go.
logo on
Yep.
ESPN. Right?
Because they know it's a fluke.
They know it's a
Yeah,
fluke.
you missed Aaron being a traitor over here.
Yeah, he was.
What was he
Aaron
doing?
was a total
Who
traitor.
does he root for?
ASU.
I mean, that's normally the right logo that they have there. It's
USA.
just
Oh,
conspiracy theory. ASU is all on steroids.
Yeah, no, I can understand why you'd be a little hurt right now with that drubbing you got put on. I got put on you.
Steroids.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
True fact. Do you know why Cam Scattaboo shakes his head all the time?
No, why is that?
Because he sweats a lot, and if he doesn't, his pads stick to his helmet, so he's always loosening
Really?
his helmet so that it doesn't get stuck in place.
Huh. That makes sense.
Yep.
Makes perfect sense, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, we're just saying congratulations to ASU making
Yeah.
the playoffs. Hope they're going to get a run, but our Oregon Ducks are going to win it all. So sorry about that.
It's interesting because Bob and Harry are the Ohio State contingent, and then
Yeah.
we got this Duck fan over here. I'm the only local, honest guy in the office. So just not in the office, but in the team. So you just gotta understand. If you're an ASU fan, send me
Yeah.
your business. That's
right?
yeah, that's it.
Well, Sarah is from Alabama, and she's a Roll Tide fan, and so college football has not been very good to us in our household.
I can imagine so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a tough year.
Hey, I'm kind of glad it didn't go your way. Sorry about that, but
All right.
yeah. So anyway, we're just starting to get back into some of the technology news that's out there, and just really getting into the drones that have been sighted over the nation.
I mean, this
especially
is like
Pennsylvania area.
a crazy thing right here because they're like 5 times as big as a regular drone
Yeah.
or something. I mean, they're
Yeah, they don't believe that these are like the common drones that, you have people out there just kind of flying around for fun and taking photos. There's a little more sophisticated type of drones.
right. And
So-
one thing I was thinking initially was, if it wasn't one of ours, we'd shoot it down. But then I remembered Biden let the Chinese, weather balloon fly across the entire United States before he sunk it. So,
yeah. So
I suppose thinking that was incorrect.
Oh, Mark, a quick side note for you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw today. Did you see what's happening down with the border materials?
No.
Biden is rushing they're all being loaded on semis and driven to a government auction site.
really,
They're auctioning off all the remaining border wall materials.
as much as they
Wow.
can
Before he gets out of
Why?
office, yeah.
Just so we can't reuse it to rebuild the wall.
I don't really
Don't
know.
know. Yeah, money. Maybe they're trying to cut the deficit down by selling.
Be interesting to
small
see who
thing.
else he pardons before he's all done with his pardons.
He's going to pardon the drones. That'll be next step, right?
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
Get me going, and then we won't talk about anything else for the rest of the podcast.
But yeah, these mysterious drones, they're causing a little bit of, speculation out there, right?
Well,
And
yeah,
some
because
fear.
right?
And when there was a news story I was reading that a gentleman out of San Francisco, I believe, had just been apprehended at the airport trying to fly back to China
Yes.
with a drone.
Yes.
And when they took a look at what was inside the drone, there was pictures of aerial
Vandenberg
shots from,
Air Force
Yeah,
Base.
Vandenberg. That's
Yep.
right.
Yep.
So who knows?
Or
I mean,
Vandenberg Space Force
but
Base. now.
I would
Yeah.
have to stop and think with the way technology is, okay, you probably get just as good information off satellites hovering above the Earth than you would, say, happen to fly in a drone in. But maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's hard to tell.
It's quite a bit of distance, and with the resolution that they can come up with, with that at that height, it probably is far superior to a satellite image.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially when you see, talking about resolution, whenever they show a resolution of a UFO, it's always black, white, grainy, hard to make out. But my Ring doorbell's pretty darn good and a lot better than that.
Well, yeah,
So,
that's what I'm saying. You do the whole Google Earth thing,
Yeah.
and you can zoom in, and you can see neighborhoods pretty clear, but all of the like bank robbery suspects and all the the cameras in convenience stores and all that, it's always blurry images of people.
Yeah. I know. Go figure, right?
Yeah, except for the guy who got caught for killing that CEO.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Those
That
are
was
pretty-
pretty good.
those are
videos.
pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good
pretty
pictures
clear
coming out there.
images. Yeah.
And I'm glad they were able to capture them and go ahead and resolve that.
Yeah.
So, Unfortunate. Again, our hearts go out to the family.
Oh, yeah.
And everything took place there. Just unfortunate. That shouldn't be happening.
No.
Honestly, in any scenario.
That's kind of crazy.
Oh, it's kind of a Debbie Downer there. So let's get back into something else here.
Yep.
Let's talk about what is this brain issue you have going on here? Where
Pinky in the brain?
Yeah, Pinky in the brain. Pull up picture number 3. This is more of researchers kind of using the matrix, right?
Well, what they've been able to do so far is, and the way the story reads, is that they take and hook somebody up to an MRI, right? And then they project an image on the, above them. And the image is actually generated from brain waves.
Okay.
And the objective is to stop the image from moving, right?
So using your brain waves to manipulate the image?
Right.
Okay.
So, but to get it to stop moving. So they have to figure out how to do something, and it's a brain, and it creates, I guess, these synaptic pathways that mimic or that go along with learning, like learning, deep learning, not just, cursory.
So not superficial, but more intrigue.
Right, right. And so it teaches people how to take in information without being taught it, apparently.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's observational, not conversational. It's not like you hear something and you retain it, or you read something and you retain it. This is more abstract. And so they're thinking that practical applications for this will ultimately be to essentially, you never watched Chuck, so you don't have any point of any of you guys watch Chuck?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't either.
Okay, well, it was it was one of the greatest TV shows ever. I love Chuck. And it had, why can't I think of it? Zachary Levi
Oh, okay.
in it, and Yvonne Strahovski. Yeah. And Adam Baldwin.
Oh, wow.
Anyway.
Good cast. Yeah.
Yeah, Chuck, his dad is a scientist, and he basically, through observing a series of images, learns how to do everything
Okay.
instantly. So it's all spy stuff.
No, the
and all
government's
that.
tried this before. We were talking about this earlier, and they actually made a movie about it, Men Who Stare at Goats, right? So they have tried this before in a military application,
Yeah.
years ago, where they took and they tried to use people to force to use brain waves, thinking that would affect the consciousness of somebody else,
Right.
or an animal, or
Brain
whatnot.
science has come a long way since then, and so has technology.
Yeah.
So they're able to detect things now, and the use of prosthetics and things like that. Being able to manipulate things that are not part of your body.
Sure.
anymore.
And Elon Musk, we talked about this before with his Neuralink chip.
Right.
Now, that's actual chip implanted in the brain. This is different science compared to that, but
Right.
kind of getting to some of the same types of results through different applications.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's it's kind of like everything else. It's sounds silly until it's not, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you had talked about superpositioning and quantum computing, 10, 15, 20 years ago as compared to where we are today, or even chat GPT AI type of stuff, people would have said, okay, whatever. But
Yeah, that's things of science fiction.
but people pursue it as a concept until they find out how to do it.
Yeah.
That's the great part of human ingenuity, is that, usually the advent of anything worthwhile comes in concept form first.
Sure.
And then you figure it out later. You don't just connect a bunch of things together and go, oh, look what this does.
Right.
Right?
You experiment.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Continue to experiment, continue to grow.
Yep.
Which is the next talking point we come up to, which is Google's new Willow Chip. I don't know if many of you have seen this or heard about this. This is just groundbreaking stuff right here. Google, this is considered the Willow Chip, they call it. It's a quantum processor, and it has already solved problems in under 5 minutes that would take the fastest supercomputers on Earth septillion years to solve.
Right.
I don't know what septillion is, but it's a number with a long list of zeros, right?
Right.
So
The way it made sense to me was it would take longer than the universe has existed.
I can't fathom that. That's
No,
crazy.
in 5 minutes.
In 5 minutes time.
What kind of problem was it? That's
I
what I
don't
want to know.
That's a good question. It didn't say what the problem was. You have the problem? Oh, 10 septillion. Wow. Yeah,
That's a big number,
that's a huge number.
right?
That's how long it takes for me to eat breakfast.
Is breakfast ever really done?
Never done.
You're a breakfast
Wow.
in perpetuity kind of person.
Are you a Cheerios girl or like a, Captain Crunch girl?
Oh, Captain Crunch all the way.
Captain Crunch all the way,
Captain
right?
Crunch all the way. Peanut butter Captain Crunch. That's
Peanut
that stuff.
butter Captain
yeah, that
Crunch.
stuff
There
right
you go.
That's the Mac Daddy.
Yeah, wow. But this technology right here, this is paving the way for what we're going to see in the future. If we get this formulated, right, I can't imagine what the next advancement's going to be.
Right.
But it's is going to open a lot of doors, especially with the use of AI.
Yeah.
I mean, this stuff is just going nuts. And they're able to do this by basically controlling the errors of the qubits. Right? And the particle errors
It's
that are
error
in there.
correction, right?
Correct.
Yep. Because right now, one of the drawbacks of quantum computing is that there are 1,000. One error rate is 1 in 1,000, right?
Yeah.
Whereas the error rate on the silicon-based chip structure right now is 1 in a billion.
Okay.
So it's and so they're creating these secondary tools or capabilities to do error correction on quantum computing.
Yeah. Jesse, you had a point?
Yeah, the Willow chip
Yeah.
itself, not only it solves error correction, which is 30 years we've been trying to figure this out, okay? 30 years we've been trying to figure out quantum error correction, but this does it exponentially at scale. So as you scale the quantum system, the error correction remains
Really?
solved.
Wow.
As
Okay.
it scales exponentially. They have not found a limit to it yet. So not only is it solving a 30-year problem, but it's exponential.
That's
Wow.
insane.
Yeah.
I wonder
mean,
if it can find the last digit of pi.
yeah, right. Maybe that's that 5-minute equation that solved.
Right.
You know? Yeah, no, but this is going to lead to just, I mean, our brains right now can't fathom, I think, where this could go. And there is actually talk that, and it's a theory right now, that this is actually leading into parallel universes, right?
Right.
And so they're thinking that maybe some of the equations are being solved because they're able to access these other parallel universes through quantum, physics.
Right.
I don't know if I buy that. That's a theory.
Well, yeah, they think that they may be accessing an alternate reality through the quantum entanglement because based on the laws of entanglement, right, it doesn't matter where the second entangled electron is.
Yeah.
It could be anywhere. So theoretically in space or time or in universe, it could be anywhere.
Well, so I got a point for you guys. So have you either of you seen Interstellar?
Yes.
The movie where
It's been a while, but yes.
basically they travel to a black hole, Matthew McConaughey and his team, and they get too close to it, and it dramatically alters time when you get near a black hole because it literally messes with the fabric of space-time, right?
Right.
Because of the-
Space-time continuum gets
So on the
all
planet, it's time
warped.
goes in one rate. On the ship, it goes at a different
different
rate.
rate. So they went down to the planet and they came back to the ship up there, and the guy had aged like 28 years, and they were gone for an hour.
Right.
That's just
Right.
insane.
So
right?
imagine that where here to us, it's an hour, but we send our data processing somewhere where it does 28 years of data processing and then sends it back to us. And for us,
Within
it's
an
been an
hour.
hour.
Right.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's,
Yep.
pardon me. That's
It's like
wild.
Inception. the dream within the dream within the dream, right?
But these are the things that I mean, growing up as a child, I never could have thought this would be a reality scenario that we're talking about today. You'd seen it in the movies, right? You'd seen it and read about it in stories and books. But I mean, I didn't never conceptualized that this could be, our way to a reality where we see this type of technology.
Well, when you look at, not to get into the science of Star Trek, but, the people who wrote science fiction like that, really did their homework.
Yeah, sure.
Because, even when they talk about, is it neutrinos?
No,
I'm talking about time travel signature. Why can't I think of the name of it right now?
Good question.
But it's a real thing.
Yeah.
When they're trying to see if somebody traveled through time or what,
they could actually use that as a measurement.
Right. But it's a real thing. I was reading just this last week, and why can't I think of the name right now?
I don't know.
It says temporal signature.
Temporal signature, but it's a there's a particle associated with it.
Not familiar.
No, I can't think of it right now.
It'll come to us.
Yeah, it'll come to me, or I can just pick up my phone and Google it while you talk.
Yeah, no, but time travel's always been a mystery to everyone, and that's one of those things that, gosh, wouldn't life be great if we did have that? And I'm sure it's possible. We may not know about it yet, but Pete thought about it years ago. He used to sell time travel tickets and vouchers, just in case it was ever invented one day. So it is in theory and theoretical. It's possible. Tachyons. There you go. Yep. So yeah, it's crazy. And just before the show, Jesse and I were talking about pretty much alchemy, right? And Jesse, you had brought up a point. What's taking place over there in China?
They have developed a new way, and they call it flash smelting, I think, to create iron ore in liquid form. Basically going to change the global iron industry completely. They have found a way to induce a chemical reaction, kind of like nuclear fusion equivalent, right? Mm-hmm. How it's just we had to figure out the math to get it to work, basically. But they figured it out in China for this iron production, to where it takes a 5 to 6 hour smelting period down to 3 to 6 seconds. It's a 3,600 or 3,400 fold efficiency increase.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can you imagine the amount of time? I mean, the amount of energy that saves?
Time, energy. Yeah. Seriously. And what's it lead to next? That's what we were talking about is, okay, if they're able to solve this problem, now all of a sudden we get in alchemy, and what can they do? And what if we ever get to the situation where we could do this in a sense of, creating gold? And how would that affect the world economy, and what would take place? I mean, it's just pretty wild.
Which kind of leads to your...
Yeah, it kind of leads into the next one, which is... carbon-14 diamond batteries. Yeah. So here you go. It's the Energy Authority of the UK has figured out how to create a carbon-14 battery. And basically what it does is it encapsulates the radiation of the carbon-14 signature within a diamond structure, right? But this radiation that's sitting in there will last for till its half-life is like almost 5,000 years. So they're able to create a battery, and it's an actual battery. It looks like a watch battery.
Yeah.
Okay, a little round battery. And they're saying here the battery harnesses radioactivity decay of the carbon-14 to provide microwatt levels of power up to 5,700 years. So to put that in perspective, you're talking a battery is going to outlast many, many generations.
Watch this. We're going to get it all figured out, and then we're going to get hit by an asteroid.
Yeah, right.
I'd be like, you got to start all over again. How did you make that stone tool?
Yeah.
Right?
How did this work out? But
Yeah.
it's pretty amazing stuff because, typically you have right now, what is your lithium ion batteries, which last 5-6 years in a lot of applications of this nature. Now we're talking, we can take an application, make a battery, it's going to last generations upon generations.
Yeah.
So great for medical devices, small devices. I mean, this is very minute in a small cellular situation at this point in time.
Right.
But as this advancement comes aboard, it gives us more options, especially if you start talking about something like this for space travel,
Right.
where you're looking for an alternative fuel source, to be able to travel through
Power
space
source,
and
yeah,
time.
yeah.
And so, the beginning stages of this, of course, but we can see what's coming around.
That's pretty
Yeah,
incredible.
pretty crazy stuff.
Right.
It's like, wow, who would have thought?
Not me.
No, actually, not coming from my brain. No, it's not going to happen. So, yeah. So the last headline that I looked up that we have a few moments to talk about was AI in small business.
Okay.
Right. And what this is coming down to is they're really finding out now that we've got AI kind of at the entry level, right? Now it's getting to the point where it's more economical for small businesses.
Right.
And what they're finding out is it not only is it more economical, it only makes sense to start out maybe more in a small business platform because the infrastructure is very minute compared to large corporations.
Right. Well, with the AI stuff, I mean, even like they're building AI detectors now for college students because they write their papers with AI, right? So you got AI detecting AI. How does it detect it?
Good question. I don't know.
Hey, this is too good. Got to be AI.
Yeah, right?
I don't know.
I don't know. I know
But-
my experience using AI so far. I can tell you a few things that come right off the top of my head is I'm so used to human interaction
Right.
that you can sense a difference in the way the words are spoken, the words are being portrayed.
Right.
When you see AI generated humans, for instance, right?
Right.
The one thing I notice right away is you never hear them or see them take a breath, which
Right.
is a part of our everyday conversation when we're
Right.
talking to people.
No pause.
Yeah. And so those are the little intricacies that I see in AI that I can see a difference in.
Right.
But you almost have to know what you're looking for in some aspect.
And I enjoy writing, so but I am guilty of taking everything I've written and throwing it in to AI and saying, make this sound better,
yeah.
right? Because I have writing style habits, and sometimes I want to come at something from a different angle.
Sure.
So after I read how it's modified what I've written, then I tend to learn from that, actually.
Yeah. I could see that.
Yeah, because it helps me form thoughts in a different way than I maybe have expressed it in my first iteration or first draft. So I think it can be very helpful. I would never let it do all my creativity for me, but I sure would use it like I have been to polish things in a way
Sure.
that will help me look at it a little
Well,
differently.
you're using it in an application process where it's being an editor for you.
Right.
You no longer have to go and take a script or a manuscript to an editor and have them proofread it.
Right.
You can easily put this into a chat GPT program or something like that, and it will do it almost instantaneous for you. I
Right.
mean, it's
So I can
just,
see
boom.
business owners, using stuff like that for their
Yeah.
marketing, right? Because website content and all that, man, Jesse knows this. It's tough to build websites when there's a lot of content. I mean, and it's even harder when you don't have customers who cooperate with you. You say, I need content for this, I need content for that, and they kind of just go vacant. Their stare is like a thousand yard
Yeah.
stare, right? And they're like, well, aren't you supposed to? I'm like, I can't come up with your content. You gotta. This is your vision. It's your
Right.
company. I can polish it for you, but you gotta tell me where to go.
Yeah.
Right. So great tools for that.
Yeah.
Making things readable. You can tell it 200 words, 100 words, 50 words, whatever you want. Summarize this real quick. I want it to, appear in this, size setup. So it works really well for that.
Yeah, and the term you just used is something I really like about this, and that is the term tools, right? This is going to be a tool.
Yep.
And if you look at it as a tool, it's going to be a very handy tool for a lot of people, a lot of businesses, and us in general.
Right.
The one thing that I've so far, like I said, my issue with the AI is understanding that there's no imperfections.
Right.
I'm used to human imperfections.
Right.
You know, I have them, you have them, we all have them. And to me, I can notice right away when something's been written with the use of AI,
Right.
you know, versus not.
Yeah. I mean, that's hard for me because my writing style, it was ingrained in me a certain way to do things, like not repeat words, in the same sentence or in the same paragraph. Don't use the same word. The English language has a lot of words. So use more descriptive words to say what you're trying to say, rather than constantly repeating yourself.
Sure.
Right. And but again, that's how I like the fact that I can throw something in and it can give me that other look at it, and I just think it's genius. It's brilliant. Yep.
No, it is definitely. And it's here and it's going to be here for some time. It'll be here the rest of our lives, definitely.
Yeah.
And it's never going to take over. Don't worry about that. I know those people out there thinking that here comes Terminator. Never, I don't foresee that happening.
Right.
Okay. But I do foresee this tool that we have now is going to become an enormous tool and continue to grow for all of us to use.
Yep.
So really cool. Good stuff going on in the headlines. Things are just taking off. And if you ever, take a chance, but take a moment every day and just Google tech, headlines, highlights. Take a moment to see what's taking place in the world because you'll be amazed of what's out there.
You might even understand some of it.
Yeah, right.
And I know we got to close, but I was looking at a few different articles on physics.org or phys.org or whatever it is. And I was like, oh man.
Use ChatGPT. Have ChatGPT break it down and explain it to
no
you.
kidding.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. But I was like, I want to try and understand stuff on the first read, but then, their vocabulary is pretty, they apply the rule of don't repeat the words.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they use SAT 80 score words, you know what I mean? So
Sure.
it's,
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, but
Well, I'll tell you what. Here's what we're going to do. Jesse is going to help me figure out this alchemy thing, and we're going to create nothing but gold, and we're going
Nice.
to take over the world.
Yeah.
That's what
There
we're
you
going to
go.
do, right? But
much.
I do believe it's around the corner. I don't think we're too far off from seeing something like that take place.
Nope.
And like he had mentioned before, if we get to a point where the gold standard just is gone, right? It changes the whole landscape of economics around the world, not
it would
just
still
for the
need
United
gold
States.
for electronics and everything. So, it would be a great thing.
Yeah. So
But
anyway,
now, we're gonna get the old hook here in a sec. So we gotta let go. We gotta let go for today. Want to thank you for joining us. Sorry I was late. Customer in the office, so
hey, don't apologize for
Yeah,
that. You're
no,
taking care
gotta
of the
take care of
customer.
customers,
That's
right?
no need to apologize.
But anyway, for now, I'm Mark Beach.
I'm John Dotson.
See you next week.
Thank you.